Hello there. That's the end of that then. If the die-hard Tories were in any doubt, then last night's North Shropshire by-election will have wrenched them out of their torpor. The Lib Dem candidate Helen Morgan demolished a massive Tory majority and took the seat with a 5,925 vote majority of her own. OK, so the turnout wasn't as high as in a general election, but that's nothing new where by-elections are concerned. But just look at this result. It wasn't a narrow defeat for the Tories, it was a telling defeat, a message from the country, so to speak. The Lib Dems going from 10% of the vote to 47.1% of the vote and winning it in 2 years. Here's what the chief political commentator at Times Radio, Tom Newton-Dunn, tweeted. For the Tories to lose North Shropshire, a pro-Brexit 23,000 majority seat they've held since 1832, is awful. To lose it with a 34% swing and by 6,000 votes is quite extraordinary. It's only a by-election, but would mean there's no such thing as a safe Tory seat. And the Times points out that the last time an opposition party won a seat in that area was 120 years ago in the abolished seat of Oswestry. The Tory party co-chair, Oliver Dowden, was straight about this and said the people had given his party a good kicking over sleaze and rule-breaking. But also look at Labour. They came second to the Tories in 2019 and have been comprehensively leapfrogged by the Lib Dems, with the position more than reversed in terms of vote differences and vote share. The real message here is that the two-party state just got a drubbing. Now the usual suspects will start talking about this being all down to Brexit and that this is the country telling politicians to get back in the EU. But personally, I don't see it that way. I think it's more about the slapdash chumocracy of a government that Boris has allowed to develop around him. And also, the Lib Dems do oppose the use of health passes. That may be more important than people think. And if the Lib Dems do go down the route of doubling down on their pro-EU stance on the back of this, I think it will backfire on them. And many in Labour might be tempted to dust off their anti-Brexit credentials on the back of this result, thinking that this is an anti-Brexit vote by North Shropshire, and start pushing for closer relations with the EU. That is, to push to rejoin the single market and give up control to Brussels and the ECJ. Once again, that could also damage Labour. And I also think that come the next general election, normal Tory service will be resumed in North Shropshire. But time will tell. Anyway, to break a 200-year winning streak is massive news, especially given the margins concerned. All down to voters losing confidence in the one person that matters here, Boris Johnson. Not just because of the sleaze angle, but also because with the way he runs the country, his second name might as well be Corbyn. High tax, big state, big interventions. Not a true Conservative at all. Then there's the failure to deliver a true Brexit, which I think is the real point here, as well as his total inability to do anything about that rich, deep, one-way red carpet bringing people to the land of milk and honey. Now the real questions for the Tory High Command are, will this anti-Tory sentiment last through to the next general election? And will this anti-Boris sentiment last until the new year and cause 54 or more letters of no confidence in Boris to hit the 1922 committee chairman's in tray? Now one assumes the top Tory ministers and whips will be all over the backbenchers as of the first thing this morning, warning them not to do anything precipitate. Arm-twisting, cajoling and threatening, pointing out that a leadership election right now in the middle of a pandemic would be a disaster for the party, etc, etc, etc. And the defeated Tory candidate in North Shropshire, Dr Neil Shastri Hurst, did refuse to put the blame for this on Boris Johnson. But some MPs may take the view that Boris is already a backbencher walking, something that could damage the party even further. So why not strike while the iron's hot and get it over and done with while there's still time to rescue things before the next general election? Why not get a new broom in to sweep out the Tory Aegean stables? As an aside, I think this result will have put paid to any thoughts of an early general election, something the more upbeat in the party had been floating as a possibility just a few short weeks and months ago. And there is another by-election in the offing for the seat of Southend West, caused by the killing of Sir David Amess, with an expected date of February next year for the by-election. So the whips will probably be asking for MPs to hold off and keep supporting Boris to see how that one goes. But is a couple of months going to help Boris? Well, it all depends on how many Tory ministers are caught on camera over enjoying themselves this Christmas, as well as how many visitors use the English Channel red carpet between now and then, and indeed if any more slips by the Prime Minister come to light. And then there's the pandemic response. If Boris is seen to have ruined another Christmas, this time by overreacting to the actual risks, then he will suffer in that by-election. And when you look at the 2019 general election, the picture in Southend West was very similar to that of Shropshire North. So the Lib Dems might be looking at that seat wishing they had not made the public announcement that they would not contest the seat. Although the circumstances leading to that 2022 by-election are somewhat different to North Shropshire. Now, as I understand it, Labour, the Lib Dems, the Greens and Reform UK have all said they won't contest the Southend West by-election because of the circumstances that brought it about. This could leave the way for any other party to become the main repository for disaffected Tory votes. But all the other parties are condemning any party or person that would stand against the Tory candidate there. For some reason, they think it is the Tories by right, not by democracy. As far as I'm concerned, they should all stand, just as they all stood after the IRA bombings killed incumbent Tory MPs in both 1984 and 1990. There is no difference. And I'm wondering if the Lib Dems are now looking for an excuse for a volte-face on this one and end up putting a candidate forward anyway. If so, they should be hammered for hypocrisy. So what's your opinion on Boris? Should he stay or should he go? Please like and comment below. Please subscribe and like this video, buy a mug and support me on Patreon or PayPal, and thank you for watching.